Gayle, for me, respect is a foundation to live with others in peace. And others, I mean friends, neighbors, but also animals, plants. Everything on earth is alive in my picture, and we have to respect everything. What do you think about it?
Well, I find that we can't be diminished or disrespected when we're speaking our own truth and walking that truth. We can quote people, we can read it from a book, we can hear it on the television or on the radio and the news, but that's not our truth, that's someone else's truth. People will ask me specific questions and I say, well, I could give you my perception, but that wouldn't be your truth. It would be my perception of your truth, which would not be accurate. You have all of your own answers inside of you. You just need to trust the message that you're being given in the respect. Many of the clients this week that I was talking to wanted to know how they could be a good healer or how they could develop their shamanic practices. And I said, share your own personal experiences on how you live your life and demonstrate how you live your life by how you walk and how you respect Mother Earth and the water and the trees and all the elements that are around us, and how you respect and have compassion for other people, for mankind, and respect for yourself. When you're walking your true authentic self with respect for yourself and respect for all that's around you, people respond to that in a positive way. Mm-hmm. And when they don't, then there's something inside of them that is hurting, that they're not ready to look at, not ready to heal, not ready to let go of. And I had a couple of different clients in the past couple of weeks who said, well, I have one more question. And then as they're formulating the question, they don't even get the words out of their mouth. And before they could even speak the question, they're going, oh, I already have the answer to that. Mm-hmm. I said, of course you do. You had the answer all along. You always did. And I asked people, and they say, well, how can I get the answers? And so when you're going into meditation, set your intention of what your question is, what your inquiry is. Or just before you go to sleep, set your intention, call the ancestors and say, show me the clarity of this, show me how to move forward on this. And when you wake up or come out of your meditation, you may not immediately have the answer right there in your mind, because that's not where the answer came. The answer came into your energetic heart. So when it comes time for you to solve the question, all of a sudden the answer's there. Mm-hmm. From your heart. It just pops up there in front of you. There's the answer. So that's often how it works. You can only speak your own truth, and nobody can diminish that.
And Gayle, I have to interrupt you. And I can feel, and it comes from my heart immediately, the way it comes, I know it's true. There's no doubt anymore. And then I know it's coming from my heart and not from my mind's
mm-hmm.
answer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It pops up from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, my my husband and I used to have this crazy connection that we would be dwelling over an issue that neither one of us could solve, couldn't get an answer with it, and he would say, "Isn't it time you took a nap?" Because I would take a nap and I would go and ask the question before I would lie down. I would ask the question, and then when I woke up, I had the answer. Because I would ask the ancestors, help me. We need some clarity here. What do we do? Show me, please. Yeah. They will come if you ask.
Yeah.
They will not interfere.
No.
You have to ask.
Yeah, and I want to add something from the medicine man I went several years. His Lakota name is Agnayanka, and I listened to his stories, and he always said, we lost our respect. It's laying on the ground, we just have to pick it up. It's burned in my head. And I was thinking about his message, and I noticed he's right. Respect is a foundation. We lost it in our cultures, all over the world, I would say. And I heard adults saying, the young ones, they don't have respect anymore. That's true, but I say, I have to respect them first. I have to give respect as an example. And the experiences, I give everyone the respect. And after a while, the behavior change and they respect me, the way they talk to me. Yeah. So, Agnayanka is true, we have to take the respect back. And like you said, respect for myself first, and then to the others.
And that's part of the forgiveness ceremony too, is acknowledging and forgiving, acknowledging that we have done wrong or thought wrong thoughts, and forgiving ourselves for those thoughts or those deeds that we have done wrong, rectify them any way that we can, and we don't have to expect forgiveness from somebody else for what we may have said or done to hurt them unintentionally or intentionally. But we do have to forgive ourselves for doing it and seeing that this was wrong, we should not have done this, and I am really sorry. You don't have to forgive me. I'm working on forgiving myself, and that's harder than anybody else forgiving you. Self-forgiveness.
This is what comes first, to forgive myself that I have done it. And it opened up the space so that the other one, after a while, can step in. And I had experience like this. I forgive myself, and I asked him, can you forgive me too? And he said, no. Okay, I accept it because not the time. Yeah. And after a while we come together, and then when we look in history and so on, we hurt so many people, animals, the land and so on. On my pictures, we are in a changing time, but we can go forward in a peaceful, lightful time when we forgive the past, our ancestors, what they have done. We have to cut the line, otherwise they pull us back and back. We cannot go forward. Yeah, what do you think about this?
Well, that's one of the ceremonies I do quite frequently with the clients that come in, and using my tools gifted to me from an Irish shaman, and it's a rattle in the shape of the DNA, and also the tip of a staghorn, a deer, and so the rattle represents the DNA line of our ancestors, and the staghorn tip represents a dagger, and so I get them to cross it over their hearts. And I do a chant into their hearts, and we said, we're going to cut the cord on all the pain and suffering that your ancestors have had or have done across time, through famine, disease, war, whatever the case may be, because we carry that suffering and that guilt and that pain in our own cellular memory, from our ancestors, from the beginning of time, from our line. But we also carry their joy, their wonderment, their talents, their wisdom, their skills, their creations, their accomplishments. We also carry all of that with us in our DNA. So in the ceremony, we cut away all of the trauma and send healing back in time to the ancestors for the beginning of our line. And in so doing, we heal them and we release ourselves from their pain and suffering. We heal ourselves, releasing ourselves from their pain and ourselves from the pain and suffering, and we also heal our descendants, our children and our grandchildren forward in time by clearing the karma in our own DNA. And this is a very powerful ceremony that people wake up again from the ceremony feeling light because they have let go of so much pain and suffering that they were carrying around like rocks in their sack.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for sharing this.